Neil from Neverwet. August 4th, about 10 after 10. He's outside walking around. He's already been down to the basement. So that's a nice looking truck you have there.
Yeah, thank you. It's about 5 years old now, and it's got like 170,000 miles on it.
So you take good care of your vehicle, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple of little dings on there that you can't see, where I didn't see a telephone, a pole behind me and back right into it. It was just in the bumper, but you really can't see it. It was just a little.
If you got 170,000 miles, that's an excellent piece of gear.
Yeah, no, it's done. It's done very well for us. You know, and I like the Rams. We got our dump trucks are 5500s Rams, so they're good vehicles. I actually know the owner of Marina Dodge. I play soccer with him.
Huh.
So
You're a soccer guy.
yeah, I've played soccer with him for years now.
Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a big construction company called BRD. BRD was buying dozens of machines from Chrysler every year. And one year the dealer tried to stab him, so he got a hold of Chrysler and made him a dealer. He found so many trucks and made him a dealer.
Oh,
I think they might still do that too.
probably.
You know, I think your magazine is right on it.
Oh no, that's just fine. Thanks.
You want to take a picture of that?
No, I've got everything. I'm just doing this so I can explain some things
Oh,
to you actually. No, that's fine.
Yeah, wait.
Oh no, I'm good, thank you.
Or if you want pop or water, I got that too.
I just like having pictures where I can explain things.
I'm the same way.
So it's a lot easier to see things.
I bought my daughter a laser ruler. She likes it.
I have a laser tape measure.
Yeah, the same thing I showed her, so she was all. She's been all kitchen and done all this stuff, so she needs to get in. I got her one in green light.
Okay. So this is the front of your here. So there's your deck at the back, your hot water tank's here, your furnace is here, there's the stairs I went down, your sump pump's in the corner, your garage is here, this is where your front stoop is, this is the driveway. Okay, now, every picture that I took downstairs, which is not so much on this wall.
Yes.
However, all these walls along here.
We basically take coverage.
Oh yeah. Now, number one problem. This here is your drain pipe, your drain tile that goes underneath the basement. It's a perforated pipe. Now,
You were going to say prorated, huh?
no, I just stick my flashlight there, put the camera down, and take a picture. I told you I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Now, how these are meant to work, okay? They're meant to run from here, like this, all the way around the inside of the whole basement, like so. This is how this pipe is meant to run, and join up right there. That is how this pipe is meant to run. This is in pristine condition. Your house is what, 3 years old?
It's about 3.5 actually.
Okay, 3.5 years old. There's no sign of any water ever getting in there. So this is my first red flag. I'm not seeing any access to water. My second red flag. When you look down in the top of the crock, this is where your sump pump sits, here, okay? If your house, and we just use this is your sump pump, this is how the house goes, something like that. And this is the crock, it's obviously a very big crock. It's meant to run here and here. You've only got access there. There is nothing here, which to me is very strange. Now, if it was going in this direction, they may have teed it in. Okay? But because it's just running in one direction, that direction, it appears that there's only pipe running up one wall. And that wall runs between the two houses. Now, it still may be teed. I do not see any evidence of teeing. I do not see any evidence of ever water getting into that pipe whatsoever. In fact, I don't even see any slits in this pipe.
Now, where did you take that picture?
In the sump pump,
Oh,
right, I stuck my phone down, actually in there where the pipe is, and snapped a picture right up the side. I do not see any evidence of this even being a perforated pipe.
oh, that's not bad. That's not good.
That's not good at all.
You know, I did see one day the wall got really wet, and the water came down the insulation and migrated on the floor right down into the sump.
Okay.
Matter of fact, on this wall, one time when it rained, I found some water on the back of the insulation.
Oh, there is water now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, I fixed the dehumidifier. I just needed a little jiggle and it's working.
Oh,
Okay. But this is another problem. This is how I know it's to do with this drain pipe. Because down here, you see that lower block?
yeah.
You see all that white stuff?
Yeah, what is it?
That's called efflorescence. It's lime.
Oh, from the blocks.
From the blocks. The main consistency that bonds concrete blocks mortar together is lime. So if we've got a lot of water there, it's forcing the bonding agent out the block, and that's why it's called efflorescence. But it's just not on that wall. It's on the end of that wall. Then it's on this wall. So you can follow me around. I'm here, right? Then I turn the corner, and I see a huge crack in the floor where they tried to seal it, and you see how it's re-cracked? That again is pointing towards what they call hydrostatic pressure. That's water underneath the foundation.
Where did you see this crack?
Around about here. Goes right across. And they've tried to fix it because that there, you can see is cork, and it's re-cracked because they didn't stop the source. So now I'm running around this wall, and now I'm in this corner. You can see consistency here. Yeah. It's all exactly the same. I'm just going around the walls right now.
Same symptom everywhere. Yeah.
Now that's all mold starting to grow on your stuff, and you can smell it purely because of the moisture. You have not got what I call a water problem. You have a moisture problem that's turning into a water problem. Water's not coming in your basement yet, but it will eventually if it's not corrected. Again, I'm just walking around. There's a and then back to that crack again. You can see it even more there where they tried to fill it, see? Yeah. And it's done nothing. All it's done is spring back open. So what is happening, or what I think, and I can't be 100% sure, but I'm 80% that this pipe only runs in one direction.
So nobody else, huh? All right.
Okay, it's just running on that wall. I don't see how it's running in these directions whatsoever. And if it is, you know, that means, because how these work is you have to create a pitch on a pipe.
Sure.
Well, it's got to go downhill. Water's not going to go up. Well, it will if there's enough water. But, and this pipe is right at the top of the crock. So if this is a picture of your crock and this is your pump here, this pipe is here, which is within like 2 to 3 inches of the top of the crock. So if this is your low point,
what's going to happen?
I mean, that means it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be, you know, halfway up the wall over here for it to do any good whatsoever. Because gravity is not a favour. But I do want to go downstairs because just looking at that photograph here, I think they put the wrong pipe in. I don't think this is drain tile. I think this is solid corrugated pipe. I don't see any slits in it, and normally they jump out of it. I really don't see it.
That's nice to the point. You got to take good pictures, huh?
Yeah, it helps me out. Let me just go have a quick look. Bear with me 1 second.
Yes, sir, no problem.
Joe. There's not enough pipe that I can see to really tell. Water's not getting to your sump like it should be. And that's why this water is doing it.
You know, I've never tested the sumps as they do here. She probably.
There's nothing wrong with the sump.
No, are you sure? I mean,
It's how water gets to it. That's the thing.
I'm saying I've never tested it.
Yeah, no, that works. I tested that.
Right.
But a sump pump's only as good as the water that can get to it.
Sure.
Otherwise, there's no. If water can't get to it, it doesn't matter.
There's some mold growing down there already.
It looks like mold to me. It smells like mold. You know, and it's very minor at this point.
Yeah.
All that could be.
I should try to get rid of some of the cardboard. There's too much cardboard now.
Yeah, it grows on anything.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, wood, cardboard, insulation, it will grow on it. It doesn't really matter. But
By the way, I've only had those two dehumidifiers and that big fan down there, which also I've only had that for 1 month.
yeah, well, it's working. It's bringing the temperature down or the humidity down in the basement. So
I should really start up. I should have started up this morning. I forgot about it.
what's that?
The fan sounds like a hurricane when it started. I didn't want to run when we were down there.
Oh,
It's an awesome, that's horrific. I got on the lowest speed and blew the doors off.
well, that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly where this water's coming from. To make an educated decision how to fix something, you're going to know where it's coming from. So how they built the house to start with. What they did was dig a hole in the ground. And this created what they call a hard pan clay bowl underneath the house. The bedrock is also very high in this area. They poured footers. Now a footer is like a concrete sidewall that goes around underneath the basement. Then they built up the blocks, which is a nice level place to stand those blocks on. What they did then was put drain tile, or they should have done, here and here. So if your crop where your sump pump sits is here, like so, that's where your sump pump is. This pipe is meant to run to it, and it should go completely all the way around the basement, okay? And then go from one side to the other. All I see in there is one hole going into that crop, and it's heading in this direction, not heading towards the wall. So this is how it should have been done, and this pipe should be perforated. It's the one you guys have, corrugated pipe with lots of slits in it. I cannot see the slits. It doesn't mean they're not there. I just can't get a good visual on them. It doesn't look like it is, but I can't be 100%, because unless I can see it, I'm not going to tell you, definitely it's not, because I can't see it. So that is how your foundation was built. Now the downside to this whole scenario is concrete blocks and mortar absorb water. A concrete block will absorb 3 to 4 times its own weight in water. And that's when you start seeing that white powders, when they start getting saturated.
Okay, but that means the code says they should have tarred the blocks, I guess.
On the outside, I'm talking about the inside.
Oh.
And it looks like it's done, they've done everything they should do on the outside, because I can see the membrane and I can see tar.
The membrane is recent.
Okay. Well, it looks like, everything is done on the outside that should be done. This is all concentrating on the inside. And I don't think they've done right by what I see down there anyway. So what is happening is you get 3 types of water. The first is what you've been battling all this time and just spinning your wheels in the dirt, and that is called surface water.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Okay, and that's from your rain, snow, sleet, hail, anything coming from our heavens above. Going back to this map here, surface water cannot land here. Impossible.
Yeah, the other houses.
The other house is there. Surface water cannot land here. Again, impossible. We've got a roof over the top with your garage. Here, not impossible, improbable, because you've got a concrete stoop here. So the only place water can really land are these areas here. Okay, and at the front. Yeah. All the other places it can't land, water can't land. But we're seeing water all the way around the whole foundation. Okay, even over this side there's a little bit, it's just not as bad as these areas over here. So I know for a fact surface water is not an issue to this house. Okay, the second water. We know water soaks into the ground. Water cannot soak into the ground and go, Joe's house is in this direction, let's head that direction. It can't do that, it just follows gravity. Now because we have a lot of bedrock and we have this hard pan clay bowl underneath, eventually this water, when it rains hard enough, will start coming up underneath the foundation, like this. That's why this system underneath was installed to start with, because if it is coming up underneath, it gets in through those holes in the pipes, runs to the collection point, sends the water away. Okay? There's something not working with that pipe, whether it's a solid PVC pipe, whether they've only run it on one wall, it's just not doing what it should be doing. Because in the warmer months, it definitely drops back down again. It's called a false water table, not a real water table. It's a fake one. But it's the second form of water, and that is called groundwater. That's the second way that water gets around. And this is where the biggest issue is, because this water's coming up here, sitting here, sucking up into those concrete blocks, and we're seeing bad things happen. The insulation's all getting wet, and all kinds of things happening there. Sure. And it's also creating something else. It's called hydrostatic pressure.
I've heard the term.
And what it is, this water puts pressure underneath here, and it starts cracks in the floor. I can't see your walls because you've insulation over them, the walls, and maybe the footer itself. And because we have so much now water touching foundations, soaking up into the concrete, that's why we got those dehumidifiers down there. That's for air, moisture, or relative humidity, which would be your third water. Now,
I've only had it now for 1 month.
yeah, and it's helping. It's just not a fix.
Sure.
You know, because we're not getting rid of water. You're turning the water into, the air into water. Now you've got a fan down there, so it's pushing stuff around there. So if you've got mold and stuff downstairs, it's enabling it to spread.
Great, yeah, right.
You know, so you've got all three of these waters happening with the foundation, but this is only like 5%. If it's really not a factor, that surface water. This is where your biggest problem lies, and that's why we see it all damp around the inside. Because how water enters, and this is very easy to explain. First way, if you have a crack here, it can fill up inside those blocks very easily. The second way, and this is the way that it's really doing it, this water right now is sitting underneath your foundation. When it rains again, it can't get into these pipes, so it starts coming up and around the foundation, and we start to see this wall getting all distorted and damp and white powders. And of course, if you paint over that and don't really fix what causes it, it just moves to the next weakest point. And you paint that and you don't fix it, guess what happens next?
Sure.
It just keeps moving.
Migrating,
yeah, because water rises even. It doesn't rise higher this side of the house than it does that side of the house. It rises even, and that is your third way. And then the fourth, again, is that relative humidity or that air moisture. So really and truly, you've got three waters that are entering four different directions, but the biggest issue you have is this water that's underneath, and it's to do with the drainage. It's nothing to do with how the builder built the house. It's whoever put that drainage in, it isn't right, and that's why it's doing it. That's the only explanation. You have to replace the drain tile underneath. That's the only way to fix it.
The drain tiles will run on the outside.
Meant to run the inside of the basement. I'll show you exactly how we do that.
As far as you're concerned, the thing meets code, it just didn't do it right.
Yes, they didn't install it correctly. If at all down the other side of the basement, the only way to find that out is when we dig open the floor, if there's any drain tile in there. And the other thing, this basement, I can tell you now, is over 150 lineal foot. I'm pretty confident of it. Let me just double check my math here. Let's see what your basement size is. And I have to know the lineal footage. Yeah. Just so you know. Just what's my starting point.
You need total footage all the way around.
Just the lineal footage, yeah. So you're 185 lineal foot. Just in case I missed something, we'll do it again. 185 lineal foot is your basement. You should have 2 crocs and 2 sump pumps.
Really?
Because 1 is not enough. Anything over 150 lineal foot basement, you should have a sump pump here and probably a sump pump here or here, one of these areas.
Concrete, we can have a sump.
Yes, and then you can run high points here and here, so it goes to it and it does a nice job of getting rid of it. So you need 2 crocs and 2 sump pumps, really and truly, to do what you wanted to fix this. Anything over 150 feet. But what I'm doing is show you exactly what we do to correct it. And what you need is what I call a new interior drainage system. Now, how that works. There's a picture of your basement, okay, which I showed you earlier. This actually is we would actually remove concrete all the way around. Just the edge, we come out between 12 and 18 inches. I do not know how wide your footer is, but we have to get next to the footer to remove the drain tile that's in there, because it's not 1 pitched correctly, and 2 not working, and 3, I don't even know if it goes all the way around the whole basement. But we'll find out, obviously, when we dig it up. So that's the first thing that we do, and obviously we would go in and out. Oh, you've got egress windows, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, one anyway.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could possibly get the concrete out through the egress window as opposed to carry it through your living room, because the job that we do is going to have some dust. We cut it down a lot, but it's better than walking across here. I would think that would be the best access point. Because the only way we can get in and out your basement is in 5-gallon buckets to remove that concrete. The average basement is 100 lineal foot. Yours is 185. So you've got a bigger than average basement. And this is where I get to my pictures, because it's a lot easier to explain things. So we go down basically as deep as a 5-gallon bucket. Okay. What we do then, in the trench that we've created, is lay a number 2 river wash stone. We want clean stone. I don't want like crush and run where it all bonds together. I want to use it as filtration. And we create a pitch with that. So I can create high points and low points. When we've done that, in one corner, the other corner, we'll pull that crock out. And in another corner, we'll put a secondary crock in. And what that means is the crocks we put in are actually a little bit bigger. They're this round, and they're 30 inches deep. They're actually perforated. I want water to get in there, okay? So we perforate the whole crock itself. We then put our drainage in. Now our drainage, and you can physically see just by looking at this picture here, that's a high point. You can see how it's starting to angle down. You see the holes in the side here? See those holes? They're 5/8 holes. Now they're like this big. Okay, we surround that by stone. Okay, and this also acts as filtration.
In my old house, they had this kind of thing outside the house in the trench, but what they should have done, they should have wrapped it with felt, and they didn't. So after 10 years, the whole still up.
Right. We don't have to wrap this with felt because we're using the stone as filtration, and that's quite a big, thick layer of stone as well, because we're going down far enough. We also, in every single corner, so you got one sump here, in every single corner we put cleanouts. That's basically, see this hole coming up to surface, this is teed up to the surface. So in the event of maybe, calcium being in the soil, you can flush your system out and use a product called CLR, but I'll explain about that. Yeah, and it flushes, it stops the calcium build up on these holes, so it's always open. When we put the stone over the top, we now drill weep holes or seep holes every 4 inches into the cavity of your blocks. They're only 5/8 holes, it doesn't affect the structure, okay? I just want to relieve the pressure, and a lot of times, where is it? I'll show you what happens when we do that. In fact, I would say 9 times out of 10, when we drill into those blocks, this is what happens.
Wow. Water just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Oh.
Now this here is where the basement floor would go up to, across here. So this is all underground, and that's what's happening to yours. It's all wet, you know, under that area, and then the white powders are coming up over the top. When we've done that, we put this product on. This here is called Hydrochan. You can feel this is a very thick plastic. There's no holes in it, okay? It's dimples here and dimples here. So it sits right on top of the pipe. So the pipe is underneath this stone. So this, say this is where the stone is and the pipe is, it sits there. This would be the basement wall, okay? We want it lifted up so any water comes in here now, it doesn't sit in those blocks anymore and cause issues. We're forcing it down into the drainage to push the water away. When we've done that, we put this product on. Actually, before we do that, we do a mold treatment on the walls. Okay, so all that insulation I will pull down. All it's doing is causing issues right now. And it's probably got a lot of mold in it, so we'll pull all the insulation down and get rid of it. I don't know why builders even put it on there. You're underground, it's a lot warmer underground than it is above ground anyway. So we will rip all that down.
I never understood it either. I still don't.
We will put this stuff on. This is called encapsulation. It is mold and mildew resistant. It's 20 mil thick. It's reinforced with fiberglass. Okay, it's got a lifetime warranty on it. Everything we do has a warranty to it. But this goes all the way into the ground itself. Okay, and then we re-concrete up to here. So this is under the ground. Now this part goes all the way up to the ceiling. And it gets riveted right at the top. So this is where the wall, top of the wall is. That will be riveted to the top of the wall. So when we finish your basement, here's a good example of someone else's basement we finished. It will look very similar to what it is now, but it won't be insulation. This is actually a working part because it's a moisture barrier. And any moisture gets behind there, it's feeding it down. It's not sucking up into the insulation, it's feeding it down into the drainage system. So your basement would look like that all the way around, except you won't have this, it'll be concreted tight to the wall, very similar to that. So this is someone who really had a bad basement. So it went from that to that. So, and then you can see we reconcrete the floor all the way around.
I never would guess.
It's actually code in a lot of, I don't know if it's in Webster, but I live in Aranaquoit and we do an awful lot of work in Greece. And it's code in Greece to anything over 150 lineal foot, they want 2 crocs and 2 sump pumps. And it makes it better because now you haven't got such a long run for your drainage because, you know, otherwise we'd have to really dig really deep, have a huge croc to get enough pitch, because our pitch already is like this. In fact, if you see our crocs, I'll show you a picture of one of our crocs. You can see how low down that pipe is. Your pipe's coming out up here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's where ours are. It's way down. Okay. And that here, this here is called an interior system. And what it's doing, any water now, actually it's pretty straightforward. Any water now starts coming up underneath the foundation. Firstly, we stop it down low because the crock is that high. If it rises higher, it now gets into those pipes and it runs to this and still sends the water away. And then those days we get a lot of rain, it comes up, it gets into those holes and we send it away there. So that's basically how we send away the water, but your system is not working like it should be. And that's why it's doing it. And I don't know what kind of recourse, if you have any recourse with the builder.
I've just started, I'll find out very soon.
Yeah, I've had issues with builders before.
I'm not saying that they're kind of cheap, all I'm saying is that
they should do something for you if they haven't installed it right. Now, I've had instances like this before where the guy goes who's fixing his house, it needs to be done, it's not working. Whether I win or lose the case, I've still got to fix this. But it made it easier when he went to court, because we'd already dug up the floor, we took pictures of, hey, it wasn't even installed. They didn't do it right. They put in solid PVC pipe, not perforated PVC pipe, and you win those cases every single time. But going to court with a builder and you've got an actual physical proof, it's very hard to prove.
First thing, Neil, we're gonna find out, thank you very much, and that's good, thanks. They've always been very good to me, did everything I needed. Like I say, recently came out, tried to solve the problem again, and didn't. All of a sudden, they see they're not answering my email. So I called my lawyer, said, can you send them a little letter for me? He said, oh, that's all they can do, so there are firms that specialize in that. So I don't really know, if they would split it with me, or if they would pay for it, or if they would deny me everything, or if they'd fight me in court. All I know is, I think there's 63 units in this section, they're gonna be done with them. They're gonna be through them this year, so they can pull out, which means we're gonna, as a group, we have to have our own HOA, and then off to some other projects.
You will have to find out as well, most contractors only warranty their work for 1 year. And some are more, but the average I found in New York State is a warranty for 1 year. After 1 year, they do not warranty it. So look at the fine print in the contracts of what you've got.
That's terrible. Oh, shit.
So just so you're aware, as I say, I've been doing this a long time, I know, you know,
sure.
some of the, and it's not always, some people have warranties for 10 years, you know, but I found the average is 1 year.
I don't really know how I deal with these people. All I know is they've treated me very nice in the past.
Right.
All of a sudden, not answering my correspondence.
Yeah, they're not answering you.
So again, I was kind of pain in the neck for asking a question every couple of weeks, so I'm not sure I can blame them for not responding.
Well, it can be fixed. That is the correct fix. It's because the drainage is not working correctly. Whatever they've done, it's not done right. But I'll leave you with an estimate.
I'm gonna give them, yes, please do that. I'm gonna give them a, an option, either you wanna split it with me, or you're gonna pay for it, do I have to sue you? But, my attorney, all he does is write letters. I'm gonna have to find some much larger, much more expensive firm.
Yeah, and that's where you get, because you'll need a litigating attorney.
Sure.
And a litigating attorney is anything from $600 to $800 an hour. Good one.
My son has one.
Yeah, and it's, then you look at it and go, you know, whether I win or lose, I lose because the attorney's just taking the money I could have just put for the basement.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know.
I was thinking maybe if it said that, maybe we could make a deal with the building, maybe split it. Anything's being paid, better than paying 20 grand or whatever.
I will let you know exactly what it is in a second.
My son's attorney can do almost anything. But, like say $800, no, I think he's paying, he pays either $350 or $850 an hour.
Yeah.
But he's also paying him $6,500 a month, so he'll pay up the phone. Big firm in New York.
What does he do?
He has a business where his men repair, industrial coffee machines.
Oh, okay.
He's got,
I wouldn't have thought he would need an expensive attorney for coffee machines, but hey, we are in a different world nowadays.
Coffee machines, it's people like Howard Schultz that own, Starbucks, people like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
That's $1 billion business.
Oh, he's worth a lot more than that, for sure. It tells me he's not a bad guy, you know, he's played poker with him. Guy has a sense of humor. Anyway, by the way, what do we draw? You know, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing.
Oh, no problem.
Obviously, you know what more to do. You got all kinds of remember that comment. I'm not sure if I have anything else, comments, just you spent the time to explain it to me. Got some fellow coming on Saturday, but, for a reason, I'm sure he's not the owner. I'm sure he doesn't have your experience here, so.
Well, you know what? It's always good to get more than one opinion. I'm a firm believer in that, and I would not shy away from it. I know what we do. We do a really nice job.
The thing is, I spent 10 years as an application engineer, which does sales and engineering. And I always wanted engineer, people call on me to know what they're talking about. That's you.
Yeah, I've done every aspect of this
You're
job.
saying, you know, so I'm not dealing with a salesman, I'm dealing with an expert, that's it, so I've learned to recognize the difference. Basically, you know, a salesman and a customer.
Well, they get given a parameter of what that they do, but they haven't got the experience in doing the job.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they don't dig the hole.
Yeah. And every single, I mean, this is what I've got is a locally owned company. I started from scratch. We're here in Rochester, okay? All of my competition is a franchise-based company, and they're all out of Ohio. Why Ohio, I don't know, but I mean, they're not locally,
Yeah,
and you're going to get someone who gets trained how to do a cookie cutter system, and that's all they know. You know, they don't look at something.
well,
But
competition will
I'm
say,
not going to knock anyone because I can only explain what I do. You know, and I'm sure they do what they do. They do it very well. But you know, I just.
when I was selling motors and control, they say more than one engineer's career, by showing them what they really needed.
Yeah. And I wouldn't charge you for removing the insulation and disposing it for you. That would be complimentary. And I would also do a complimentary mold treatment on the walls for you for an interior system.
But you're sure it can be sold inside, that's fantastic, that's good news.
You won't have to worry about HOAs either, that one.
Also, we don't have to worry about the fact that I can't do anything outside. You know, the builder says, you know, the HOA says you do everything inside, we do everything outside, stay inside your house.
Well, they've all truly tried to do things outside and it's still not working. So, and I would have done the same thing. If on the outside, if the outside was needed, I recognised it virtually straight away when I saw the lower walls.
Sure.
But if outside needed to be done, I would have done the same thing. I would have tiled the walls, I would have put a plastic barrier over the top of it, I would have done everything they've done. But there's no point in doing that because it's not working.
Well, also the lot has sunk somewhat. They had to put the topsoil out here twice. They had to jack up my heat pump, all that stuff. So.
Oh, there it is. Good. So this job, obviously, the biggest part of it is labour. It's a very labour-intensive job. Your size basement is around about 7 to 8 tons of concrete I have to remove in 5-gallon buckets. So there's the labour part of it.
Yep, that's a hell of a job. I have no idea.
Today's the 4th, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're near the end of the year already.
Well, that was August, in
Yeah.
July, I should say. Burning through August already.
Okay. So, and you would need 2. Ooh. Times 2, times 2, times 2.
What's the time to?
The crop and the pumps, and digging a hole in the floor. So you're at 185 feet, you're looking at 28,350.
I figured you used 20,000.
The couple of ways of paying for it. Check or cash is a third deposit, third when we start, third when we end. We do offer.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, we don't take all money up front, but if you wanted to use our financing, we do have financing options also.
I don't think that'd be necessary.
So that's basically what we're looking at.
I gotta check with the boss.
Absolutely.
My daughter,
No, absolutely.
she's short wiry, you know, and stuff.
Yeah. All I can show you is what the right fix is. You know, but the last thing you want to do is keep putting money into a project and it doesn't fix it.
Yep.
You know, I warranty the works. I didn't explain the warranty. Our warranty goes to the house, doesn't go to you. It's 100% transferable as many times as a home is sold. The pumps we have, actually the pumps we have are 3/4 horse. They pump on a 2-inch discharge.
Ooh.
And they pump at 5,200 gallons of water an hour. They're designed for ground water. So you will not see any issues whatsoever, any water, moisture, nothing when we finish doing what we're doing. We get it from a company called Rich Tech, actually make it for us. It's our design.
Oh, okay. You guys designed your own pump.
Yeah. And
There's no such an engineering background too, I guess, huh?
well, we went, actually, we don't. We had a specs we drew up and we asked someone to make one for us. They made it, you know, and that's what we wanted. But you can see on a 5-foot list it's 5280. On a 10-foot lift it's 4300. On a 15-foot list it's 2400.
Oh, yeah.
So they're cast on stainless steel, 2-inch discharge. They're just bulletproof. They really are. I mean, I've had the same one for 17 years in my house. You know,
You
there's,
need a fire,
and they do have a 3-year warranty. However, say in 10 years the pump is not working, you call us up. Part of the warranty is we'll give you a new pump. You just pay for the pump. We'll do the installation for free.
appreciate that, yeah, that's great.
So
that'd be part of the contract.
that would be part of the thing, yeah. Exactly. That's the only thing really that has an expiration date. Everything else has a lifetime warranty. Both my sons work for me. One's 22, the other one's 26.
Okay.
They both work for me since they were 14 years old. Just doing little things to start with. They have so much experience
They
now.
like the business, huh?
They like the business. So, you know, we're not going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. Even though I'm coming up to, you know, cutting down as much hours as I used to do, because I'm now 61, so.
Boy, you're in good shape for somebody who's 41, yeah, must be nice. So that's soccer, huh?
Yes, I do still play. I play at Kent Park actually.
Boy,
On a Sunday. I used to play in an over 40s league, and I retired last year from that because I thought these 40-year-olds, they're running rings around me and I'm 60. So now I'm like 62.
no one will ever get you anywhere near 50, let alone 60. Must be nice.
Yeah, no, and touch wood again, I haven't had any problems with knees or ankles or hips or anything.
It's soccer after a while, something's got to
Yeah,
happen.
and I've been playing since I was that big,
Yeah.
and I've never stopped playing.
I watch those leagues, them guys are tough, they play well. Yeah.
And I did 12 years in the Marines as well.
Marine Corps.
So I was in the Royal Marines, British Royal Marines.
A friend of mine was in the Orthodox Squadron, anyway. He was in Marine Corps boot camp, and he had to leave Canada because he owed a lot of money. But the Marine Corps rejected him because he had fellowship. Too bad he was in the Great Marine.
Oh, wow. Well, you got my details there. You got any questions
What
whatsoever?
did you think of the Royal Marines? Not bad boys and girls, right?
No, I had a good time. I just got fed up with being shot at, so I said time to
It's
leave.
kind of tiresome, yeah.
After 12 years, I had enough. And,
Did you do any parachuting, parajumping?
oh, God, yeah. I was in Special Forces
Did
in
you ever
4-5
do a
group.
halo?
Huh?
Did you ever do a halo?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. I wouldn't do it. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's nothing I haven't done, I don't think. You know, scuba in and.
I was gonna try it. I was on the ground watching. But when I suddenly realized what they were doing, I could hear their clothes buzz.
I wish they'd had those squirrel suits invented when I was
Yeah.
there, they literally fly, they glide.
The thing, besides the buzzing, what bothered me was when they opened the parachute, it sounded like an explosion. Jerked them back up in the air, I don't know, 150 feet, boom! The guy said, well, you gonna do it with us? Why? Oh, well, let's jump over the border for you. No thanks.
Yeah, my dad used to say, why are you jumping out of a perfectly good airplane?
My first jump was in this club, it was with a Cessna airplane, and a little pig about this big outside the door, put one foot on the peg and pulled down the wing strap, you see all these fingernail marks. Well, I wasn't ready to let go, so I just kicked my foot off the peg. So after that, I made a few jumps and.
Well, a couple of my friends were really crazy, they used to jump out without parachutes, and they would catch up with someone who has a parachute and lock in. I was like, you got some big cojones, let me tell you.
That's true, he's at 300 miles an hour, even body flies, that's true. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate your time.
Hey, not a problem. The ball's in your court. I do not bug and hassle people whatsoever. We're way too busy. I install 4 jobs. Oh, my lights on. I install 4 jobs like this every single week. They're normally on houses that are a lot older than this, for sure. But it's the same principle. When the drainage isn't working right, bad things start happening.
So it doesn't take long to do the job.
This job will probably take about 5 days from start to finish.
That's good.
In consecutive
I
days.
think it takes 3 months.
No, 5 days, and we do it in consecutive days. I would
Would
never
you
come
like
in
a
and
Coke or
disagree.
ginger ale or?
No,
bottled water?
I'm good, thank you. Or bottled water, maybe. That would be fine, thank you. I try and stay away from the sugary stuff.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing that. Ever since I damaged my foot, I'm gaining weight like a madman. Not good.
Well, you certainly have a beautiful home. It's a shame that the issues that I see.
Well, my wife died, she designed it, and with my daughter, and my wife died before we moved in, so she did a nice job. Anyway.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Oh, not a problem. As
And
I say,
also,
my cell phone number's on there. You can reach me personally.
it's also I guess you'd say a thing with us, thank you for your service. I know to the crown knows the United States, but it's still,
Yeah, they don't recognise me of serving anything over here.
well, everybody knows, those that know what the Royal Marines are. If you don't know what they are, then you don't know anything.
I actually still have a friend who lives in Webster who was a retired Navy SEAL, and I did a couple of ops with him, and then I moved to America and I bumped into him again. Can you believe that?
And he's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're very fortunate, that's a.
Yes, yes we are.
Well,
Again,
yeah.
Joe, pleasure meeting you. Questions, call my cell phone number, okay?
I gotta check with the boss, I gotta check with my
Oh,
lawyer,
that's absolutely
I'm here from these two important people, you're here from me.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Take your time. It's an important decision, but the one thing I will promise, if it's not taken care of, real bad things start happening. Foundations start moving because of that height. It's already, that hydrostatic pressure has caused that crack in the floor that someone tried to fix, and you can see it's re-cracked. So you haven't stopped what's the cause of it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, have a nice day.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
This is specialized and this is accomplished. Down to the beach. See, make sure that those things could be down to the beach. Make sure that the beaches were safely engineered so you didn't do what they do. But also, the jets had anti-aircraft missiles which were radar guided and infrared guided. And when we came across the beach, the guidance systems had to be changed from one to the other, which but to make sure that that happened, we found that there are these things called red factions in the ground, in the beach. So the jets, their guidance would be switched automatically when it across the beach. The recons had to be there. So that happened. That business trip, those are the others, seals before they were called seals. We need to try, seal still have a shot. Or the motion to discharge it, we need to discharge it. Everything is sealed. there. Whatever, what's that one? System. If you can't get the particular to set it up, then spin the water down on the side. Spin the water down on the side.